Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, we talk to Consumer Reports about how the Tesla Model S changed the world. Looking for a used car bargain? Jeff has used police cars under 10 grand.
They didn't wreck them all in the Blues Brothers movie?
And later, Ready Kilowatt, Buzz Smith joins us to talk about EVs. Conrad has the car clinic. We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It's straight ahead on this edition of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Dziekan. Yep. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Gentlemen, how's everybody?
Doing well.
You know, we managed to piece together everything, put it all back together. And according to the best knowledge that we have at this moment, we are live on all of the streaming platforms.
It's just like, and it's just like when you're working on your car, you got all these bolts and stuff left over after we got a box of bolts and extra parts over here.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Wow.
Yeah, but just go.
We put it together better than the engineers designed it.
But Mars has gone out and bought tens of thousands of dollars of equipment.
Mainly wire.
And we only use maybe 1/3 of it. Oh, well, I'll have to go out and get something else. So,
hey, it works. And
Amazon is my friend.
Amazon is?
Most successful
that and Walmart.
studio show we've done lately.
All right, let's move on, shall we? We got a great guest lined up for you right now. As a matter of fact, his name is Mike Quincy, Consumer Reports. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How's it going today?
Well, very well, thank you. And I apologize for all the shenanigans before we went on the air with you. But, you know, some things just have to take place because from all of the 11 some odd months or years that we've been on the air, we have found out that it never fails that something falls through the cracks about 2 minutes before we go on the air, and then we're late getting on the air.
If nothing else, we're consistent about that.
We are consistent about that.
We all have gray hair. We all hate technology.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Mike, we'll assume that you were in Connecticut?
Yes, I am in Connecticut.
With all the other
technology
CRs.
fails here, too. Trust me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, so there was this press release that Consumer Reports sent me this past week, I guess it was, on a story that you guys are doing, how the Tesla Model S changed the world. And I have heard all this week about the Model S and maybe perhaps it's going to go away, they're going to phase it out, et cetera, et cetera. I thought, well, let's find out about this story, how the Tesla Model S changed the world. And I think from my knowledge about the Tesla Model S, it truly did. It was kind of like Henry Ford's Model T in a way.
Oh, I would completely agree.
Yeah.
I think that's a great analogy with the Model T. I don't think at this point the Tesla Model S has sold as many units as the Model T.
Well, there's that.
But it also hasn't been for sale quite as long. But no, when Consumer Reports first tested the Model S, it literally blew us away. It made us even reevaluate how we score vehicles. It almost broke our scoring system because it scored so high.
Wow.
It took the old perceptions that we've all had of performance, and that's internal combustion and V8 and a sexy exhaust note, and just turned it into like the Starship Enterprise with, quiet and incredibly eye-bleeding power.
Well, it's funny you should say that because in 2015, I had an opportunity to go to the Tesla store, which doesn't sell Teslas. They just let you test drive them. And I got to ride in one. And I, too, was completely blown away. Not only in the technology inside the car, the way it handled, the way it drove, the acceleration, the interior design, all of the things that came with that wonderful, humongous touch screen. It just goes on and on and on. We could sit here all day. And then after we finished the test drive, they took us inside, and they had an actual frame of the car, the backbone of the car sitting in there, so you could see exactly how the car was made, where the body's put on the chassis, where the batteries fit and all that. And I was truly amazed at the simplicity of it all, and that they've put all of these simple things together to make a truly humongous leap forward in car technology.
Yeah, and not just car technology, but think about the state of electric cars about 10 years ago when they were just mostly small and they were basically being sold to help car companies meet their emission standards. But I mean, a Nissan Leaf with 73, 77 mile range. I mean, that was kind of the state of electric cars, and it was kind of fringy, and I'll just a weirdo would buy a Nissan Leaf, right?
Hey.
But then Tesla, really it
Broke the
put
market
everything on its
open.
ear, and it became like, and now it's like a status symbol.
It truly is. I remember the first electric car that I saw, that GM thing,
EV1.
the EV1, and a friend of mine had that for a test drive for a short period of time. I thought, why do they have to make them so ugly?
It kind of resembled a Citroen. Citroen,
yeah.
Citroen. Kind of
But
resembled
think about if General Motors kept building and refining the EV, they would have been way ahead of the game. Yeah. They quit on electric cars.
I worked for them for 25 years. They don't think that far
and
ahead.
that's back when they had money to spend.
I mean, they were on to something, right?
Well, with the EV1, they also did a series of S10 pickup trucks that were all electric, and they were all put out on lease. None of them were purchased by people, but they were all still running lead acid batteries. They weren't running the lithium ions.
But they would have had all those years of continuous development.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You think about when Toyota first brought out their hybrid systems. They were okay, but they weren't what they are today.
Yeah, well, the hybrids have changed through the years as well. Where now go to like a Chevy Volt, which is it's basically has a gas generator that charges the battery, and the electricity moves the car down. Where with Tesla, it's all about the quality of the batteries and the upgrades they've made to battery technology because of the volume of cars that they sell. You're talking 400,000 or 500,000 cars.
I heard this week that Elon was deep in debt on a couple of his new factories. Well, wouldn't you expect that to be the case? Because it's going to take a while for them to ramp up production in these new factories that he's got. And, of course, they're going to be deep in debt. But I truly doubt very seriously that Tesla, Elon, is going to go away anytime soon because of bankruptcy. That just doesn't – those two things don't go together.
Well, I think that's the perception certainly that Elon wants you to have. And no, like you probably can't point to many industrious giants throughout U.S. business history that weren't helped in some shape or form by government subsidies and whatnot, land grants and things. I mean, the U.S. history is just steeped in that. But kind of one of the weird, I don't call it dirty little secrets, but Tesla actually is only barely profitable when it comes to the money they make selling cars. There was a time that Tesla made most of their money selling carbon credits. So even as successful as Tesla is, and as high valued the company is, as they say on paper, they don't make a lot of money per unit sold.
So the only way that they're going to be able to continue to compete, if you want to call it that, because right now I don't know as if they're competing, is based on volume. And the size of these factories, like this new one in Austin, oh my gosh, that thing is massive.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've also read stories that the Austin facility is causing some financial headaches.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't be surprised with the capital outlay he had to make to build that.
Yeah.
And that's where the debt's coming in.
Yeah.
And it is Austin.
So let's get back to the story. How the Tesla Model S changed the world. How did it change the world?
Well, I mean, you think about the kind of car that the Model S was at first. I mean, they were offering, over-the-air updates, which was pretty much unheard of in the American auto industry. And we saw it in motion when we tested a Model S, and we thought the braking performance was poor. And we actually my boss got out and spoke to Elon Musk, which is, kind of, interesting in itself, but they beamed an over-the-air update to our vehicle, and we saw the braking performance improve. They changed the algorithm, and they can do that. So that was really pretty impressive. they were, beginning to talk about autopilot and full self-driving. That was not originally part of the plan, but it eventually morphed into that, which is kind of all the buzzword in automotive marketing right now. They also built a huge electric infrastructure. I mean, the Tesla supercharging system is quite impressive. The downside is that only Teslas can use it, and the EV market has not built the infrastructure system that we're seeing with Tesla. So, but I mean, the kind of performance, 0 to 60 performance, we've never measured something like that in Consumer Reports history. The handling was impressive. The steering feedback, it wasn't a dull car to drive. It was as much an enthusiast performance car as it was like a high-tech car. It really caught a lot of people by surprise. And I'm fortunate to work at a place like Consumer Reports where we can test these cars in our own 327-acre facility and really push them to their limits.
Is the Model S still successful as far as sales are concerned?
It's not selling nearly as well as some of the lower priced models. And right now, the Model S, I think, stickers around $94,000, but the Model 3 is about $47,000. The Model Y comes in around $60,000. So the less expensive models are definitely driving the sales. But even still, $47,000 for a Model 3, that's not inexpensive.
You had mentioned the charging stations, that they're particular or designed specifically for the Tesla. Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, that would be a niche market where no one else is caught up or catching up.
Kind of protecting themselves.
Exactly. I would do the same thing.
But it to me, it's kind of like the chicken and the egg discussion. I mean, the people who are going to invest in electric infrastructure for EV charging are waiting to see the volume. I mean, even with Tesla's success, the total EV market, I think right now, is around 4%. That's tiny in the world of automotive sales. So if you're going to say, well, we're going to build this EV market charging infrastructure, but hardly anyone is buying them.
What about the truck? Have you tested the truck?
We have not. The Cybertruck isn't out yet. So I mean,
have you guys tested the Rivian?
We have not tested the Rivian, but Rivian did pay a visit to Consumer Reports testing facilities, so we did get to sample it. But we never, while we occasionally will sample a manufacturer's press car, we'll never test it. We buy our own models to test. But we have deposits in Rivian. I put a deposit in on the upcoming Silverado EV. But we're still kind of in a waiting pattern right now to be able to get ours.
And do you think Tesla's profitability is going to make a turn when they get into the full-size truck market? Do you think that the Cybertruck is going to not necessarily compete, but sell at a volume where, you look at GM, Ford, and Stellantis, and it's all about the truck market because that's where they're making all their profits. Do you think that's going to help Tesla as well?
I'm not sure. It's a great question. The profitability that Detroit gets with their big trucks is that it doesn't cost them a lot of money to produce because they're using the same structure, right, the same engines, transmissions, drivetrains, everything with other SUVs. So they're spreading that cost around. I don't know if the Cybertruck is going to, share the same platforms as everything else. And plus, while it was kind of a wacky concept at the auto shows, is it actually going to be a practical, usable truck? As we know, the more loads you put on a battery system, the lower range you get. If you're getting any kind of cold weather, that's also going to reduce your range. So I think right now, the jury is out in terms of 4 seasons truck usage if you're actually a tradesperson and are hauling loads and pulling trailers in the wintertime.
Yep.
So I have to ask you, and I'm sorry, I don't subscribe to Consumer Reports.
That's it. You're dead to me.
Okay, moving on.
At least lie to him,
in the
Don.
next hour.
Well, no, I have an inside track and I can talk to you guys directly. But I did not realize that Consumer Reports had stories in it like how the Tesla Model S changed the world. I just thought it was facts and figures of comparisons of different products across a wide spectrum of things that we all buy, that we all consume, if you will. But there are these feature stories that come with the issues of Consumer Reports, aren't there?
Well, any publisher these days, if you're writing about Tesla, you're going to get more clicks. I mean, it's just kind of basic math. But,
Right.
but I'm sure Michael Mars will be the first to tell you that I'm full of opinions.
Yes, he is.
And we're very passionate here at Consumer Reports. If you look at the story that we have at consumerreports.org about how Tesla changed the world in 10 years of testing Teslas, it's filled with kind of good news, bad news. I mean, the good news is that these have been a real technological marvel. The bad news is that the promise of full self-driving really has not panned out. Elon Musk using their customers as beta testers for their software, we don't think that's a good idea. And Consumer Reports members and subscribers have told us that a lot of their Teslas have really poor reliability. The Model S, the Model X, the Model Y have done wretchedly in Consumer Reports reliability surveys, which affects our recommendation. Now, listen, I realize that a Tesla owner, Tesla fanatic, probably don't care what Consumer Reports thinks, but we still study the data for all the cars and all the reliability. And so far, Tesla's reliability has been lousy, except for the Model 3.
In reliability, I mean, if it goes down the street, to me, it's reliable. Does it not go down the street?
No, but you see, it's more than that, especially when you're spending a lot of money. In terms of reliability, Consumer Reports looks at the really annoying things. You buy a brand new car, like the Model X at $104,000, and it's forever plagued with squeaks and rattles. The Falcon doors are not working. The interior quality is poor. The durability for the interior is poor. We've also seen issues of poorly fitting body panels, bad paint jobs, electrical issues.
So it's the same score regardless of what car you plug in. And that's the point, is that the Tesla is not scoring well in the fundamental quality issues, the deliverables to the driver.
There's different ways that Consumer Reports will come up with ratings of cars. There's kind of the road test, where what we do about handling acceleration in an internal combustion car, a fuel economy, but then we also combine it with the available safety features that are standard on the cars. And we look at Consumer Reports surveys in terms of owner satisfaction and reliability. It all goes into a final score. And Tesla's Achilles heel has been reliability.
And has, as you're talking about the technology in the cars, has Consumer Reports finalized its analysis of these autonomous driving features, Super Cruise, the Tesla, some of the others? Have you guys come up with a way to test it? To give
we have been testing all driver the ADAS systems, the full self-driving claims of every manufacturer, and actually we are in the process right now of building a self-driving kind of loop at our track. So we're investing a lot of money to see how this technology goes. But when we're looking at Tesla's full self-driving capabilities, we noticed that it was just very inconsistent. There's a system that's supposed to be able to read stoplights and stop signs, and we would see that our Tesla would drive right through the stop sign. It would slam on the brakes when it sees a yield sign. The full self-drive, if Tesla is the standard bearer of self-driving technology, and I would argue that it's probably not quite as good as GM Super Cruise, but they still have a long way to go. So one of the things we do at Consumer Reports is we take marketing hype and we put it into real world practice. And so far, Tesla's self-driving has not lived up to the hype.
How about a follow-up story on the one that they launched into space? That would be a good read.
Some people would call me probably a space cadet, so I'd be perfect for that.
Very good.
Well, Mike, where can our listeners, our viewers, get more information on this?
Check out consumerreports.org. We've got a ton of stories on Tesla. Become a Consumer Reports subscriber, and you can have access to all of our ratings, full technical reports, the data that we crunch. It's really quite thorough, and the people, if you're interested in electric cars at all, we've tested all the current ones that are on the market. And like any product, there's always like good news and bad news.
Mike, it's a pleasure to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for joining us today. And hey, we don't talk to you. Have a great 4th of July.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Mike Quincy, Consumer Reports. All right. We understand that we're having some technical issues once again.
What?
With iHeart, with all of our Restream stuff.
Yep, we're working on it.
Mars is working on it. Great. Okay. So I think this will be the end.
You don't sound real confident there.
No, I'm not. So I think that this is the end of our Restream affiliation, and then we're going to move on to somebody else in the next week. Okay. Time now for the In-Wheel Time racing calendar, and there's plenty to talk about.
Well, this weekend is the 100th running of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, and Richard Tomlin is there, and I think he's planning on joining us a little bit later.
All right, cool.
NHRA is in Norwalk, Ohio. You said that Erica was after Q1 was on the pole.
Yep.
She was positioned
By a lot.
He won. Yep.
By a lot.
And then starting on July 15th is the Western Swing. So the 15th is Mile High Nationals in Denver. The 22nd is Sonoma. And the 29th is back in Seattle. First time they've been back in Seattle for a few years.
What a hole of a racetrack.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, God.
I think it's in, I say Seattle, but I actually think it's in Kent, which is just a suburb of Seattle.
Yeah, it's in the woods. And the state of Seattle, or whoever it is that manages those woods, won't let them cut down one tree for a parking lot.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and it's a 2-lane road to get in and out of there.
Oh, horrible.
Oh, my God.
And we're closing Baytown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After they put and then NASCAR is in Nashville this weekend. They're at Road America next weekend. Again, I say 4th of July weekend's a Firecracker 400 at Daytona. How do we get to Road America?
Well, that's NASCAR. That's their thinking. I think they got
Why do they do that?
I
Why
have
would
no
you
idea.
take the Firecracker 400 away from Daytona on the 4th of July?
They've been talking to the
They've
family.
done that for 50 years.
Let's move the Indy 500 away from Memorial Day weekend. Let's do away with that.
Take Indy to Bristol, because these people are thinking like F1 people, the Formula One. That's
Speaking of F1, the British
Let's
Grand
talk
Prix
about it.
is
I'm waiting.
Jeff's favorite Formula One.
British Grand Prix is on the 3rd of July, and then the Austrian Grand Prix is on the 10th. Ooh,
Corvette Invasion is in Bastrop in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks actually.
and then IMSA is at Watkins Glen this weekend with the Cadillac DPIs.
There you go.
And the Corvette's running.
Now you're talking.
IndyCar will be at Mid-Ohio on the 3rd of July, and Toronto on the 17th. And that's
Been to Toronto. It's a nice city.
Okay. Time now for Jeff's under $10,000 segment. So you're looking for a car to buy? We've got a car for you.
We
Come
got a
on
car for you.
down.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, this week it's Jeff's used police cars under 10 grand.
Well, this is a 2010 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor 4-door, which is also the P71 police nomenclature. And, all the police have a P71 number. Anyways, this is it's an Interceptor. They're available. This happens to be one out of
With what,
Florida.
500,000 miles
No,
on it?
actually, they range anywhere. This one particularly has a little over 100,000, 161,000 on it, but you can get in the range of 2.25, 250.
And I'm surprised that the police department is selling it, because that's actually those old Crown Vics were pretty prized police cars.
And they're in various stages of condition,
Destruction.
obviously. This one happens to be in pretty good shape, and we'll get to the price because this is actually a bargain. So it's a 4.6 liter. It's V8 automatic. It's got overdrive. This particular one is black, as you can see, which they're all kind of a dark color. Nowadays, they're different colors.
Black and whites.
Well, yeah, black and whites. Tan interior. You've got the exterior spotlight, which I think is cool. Everybody needs
So
one.
it gives you away driving down the highway.
There you go.
That you bought some cheap old police car.
I want to put one. I want to get a Tesla and put one on a Tesla. AM/FM stereo, no cassette or anything like that.
What you need is a supervisor's car or a detective's car.
This could have been that.
It's the same thing. Usually they're all black.
Yeah.
They're not marked like on the side with police or any of that sort of stuff. And, oh, yeah, I could do that. Got the steel wheels with the dog dish hubcap on it.
Yep.
Usually have a bumper up front.
Do you know who tests police cars every year?
Tell me.
Michigan State Police.
Yeah, they do that.
And their test analysis is what most of the other police departments nationwide use for their vehicle.
And when they had the Ford, was it the Ford Explorer, when they had the gas fume issue, they figured that out there. They were testing them and did that. Anyways, back to this one here. You can see that it's pretty plain Jane on the dash. There's no big pod with all the touchscreen stuff. This is just an AM/FM radio.
Screw holes in the dash.
Exactly. That was probably for the microphone. Break 19. Air conditioning in the front only. Maximum seating capacity is 5, unless you've got more criminals you want to put back there. It's got power mirrors, pedal adjustable. You can move the pedals up and down. Power locks, reading lamps in the front. Obviously, you need that to do, your reports and write tickets and things. The seats are trim. They're trimmed cloth. Front buckets, power steering, power windows. This rascal comes in at a whopping 4,158 pounds. It is a very heavy vehicle. Priced at $5,499 plus tax, title, and handling.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah,
for a big four-door car.
But it is a 2010. It's been, it's seen better days, I'm sure. And it's probably got a lot of whiskey dents. Yeah, how can you say whiskey dents on a police car?
Well, it's from the inside out, carrying drunks around.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And if you lift the back seat up, you never know what you can find.
I have not actually seen this in action, but I have heard rumors that there's also a we're going to fix you kind of a default for the back seat, because back in the day of that, they did not buckle in the prisoners. And if the prisoner gave the police officer any kind of problem, slam on the brakes and into the actual cage ahead, and big bloody smash up there on the.
I would think
stuff.
Today that's frowned upon.
Have you driven with Kathy? Hopefully she's not listening.
Yeah, but good stuff. As a matter of fact, I have a police officer, retired friend of mine, that tells great stories. And I asked him, I said, so which car did you prefer? Now, he was with the police department for a long time. And he said, hands down, bar none, the Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Because it handled well. It was lower to the ground. None of that SUV stuff. Had a V8 engine in it with a shifter up there on the column. And you could do that whole thing about, going forward.
And all that.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
He says it was great. He says, I had that thing down to it.
And they still have Crown Vics in service in Houston Police Department.
A few are left, but
they're like supervisors and things. They're higher up on the
totem pole.
Yeah,
Can you say that? It's not politically correct, is it?
Pole.
Hey, I want to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show does not stream on iHeart app, Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are not available on your favorite podcast channel. The In Wheel Time Car Show does continue. I don't know how you're getting us, probably through String and Cup, right after this quick break. Permanent marker and right on your wall calendar, the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise in, and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.